saying, I'm trying to build you to the point to where you're not second guessing you're not second guessing yourself and not second guessing what your mind flow is telling you. Because see, your mind is telling you one thing, but you're reacting on a totally different tangent.
True.
So your mind is speaking something that you should react on in the same limelight as what your thoughts and your mind was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn that. I had to learn that 4 or 5 or even more years ago.
Yeah.
Because I would react on the pre-thought, but the thought that is prevalent now, I should have used and projected it and then used it. Things would have been a whole lot better.
Yeah. I feel you. I agree. But yeah.
So, so it's just like a conscience call. It's like a conscience call when you think. You know, I mean, that's what I had to learn, and I try to be as nice as I can, and because just like I said, if God sees what your self worth is, God sees what you're going through, and God damn sure don't like ugly.
Right.
Because I'm a genuine person, and I expect greatness out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I do. I don't know. As I'm speaking now. Usually, if I'm speaking on something that is prevalent to me and is from Him, I usually get that affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
You just get goosebumps.
mm. Um, but it will be a great thing. Not just saying it as me being the second person in the situation. The first person is the Lord and Savior.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it will be prevalent for your healing stage. For you to get out of Georgia for a little while.
I agree.
Because
It's more of like it will be more of like a step out on faith kind of thing. Because
yeah.
like if you, of course you are around for a good bit of time, but like you've seen all of this shit, and the fact that like basically you got the behind the scenes stuff, you got to see or hear or experience or whatever, like what was happening offline. So then when everything was kind of being poured on top of me of, she's this, she's that, she did this, she did that, and I'm just like, no, I didn't. Like, I didn't do that. And then I would I guess what would piss me off the most is the me before I got the virus. That's exactly what me would have done, but that's not who I am now.
Would have done.
Like, I was petty. I was petty as fuck. Like, I used to be petty as shit. I used to do shit. Like, I would just purposely, like I said, I
If
thought
somebody,
like a
if
man.
somebody,
I thought like a man, but acted like a woman.
so
But
so
you
so
can't
if
think
somebody,
like a man and date a man and then expect that man not to act like a bitch. You know what I mean? It's just like I guess I found I attracted men who complimented my attitude. So it was like if he was a dude that was um that he thought of himself as being the dominant, those are the men I used to go for. I used to go for men who thought they were dominant. And then I would break them down to a level of you might be a man, but this is who I am. So you can either work with me or work against me. It's completely up to you. The relationship will last for a good minute, and then they would try me a few times, and I would have to act a fool, which I did. I always did. But that very first time that I knew that he was either cheating or whatever, I played the same game. So I'm not tripping on you about the chick that you fucking with, but don't come at me about the dude that I'm fucking with. Like you can't do that's not fair. But it always turned out that way. So granted, yes, two wrongs don't make a right, but what's good for the goose is good for the gander. That's how I felt. And when I got to the point that I knew without a shadow of a doubt I was done, I wanted to settle down. I got married, went through all of that. That didn't last. So, of course, I felt like a failure. Kiara and I got together, and everything felt perfect. Everything felt great. But when I'm finally in a situation where life could not have gotten any better, I got diagnosed with this virus. And all of this crazy shit, like the stuff that I was doing or saying or thinking, or what I would do. I went out in Vegas. I was pregnant. It was dark. I went out by myself and just left. I just left. No reason whatsoever. I just did just because I could. And then um I like we ended up breaking up. I'm pissed. Like I went complete. I acted a fucking fool. Then the next day, I kind of try to act like nothing ever happened, and like he wasn't for it. So I was like, okay, I understand, but shit, it's me. It doesn't matter if it's me or not. He was a really good man, and I hurt his pride. I broke his heart. He has every reason in this world not to come back, and he didn't. He
so
didn't.
besides the virus, everything would have been all right.
Yes. And I didn't know that I had the virus at this time. He had already gotten it too. So both of us were in a really bad situation. And then he went and got tested first. Um, he called me from the parking lot um, at the doctor's office. He told me that he tested positive. I was like, at first it didn't click on me until after because my first reaction was, oh, it's fine. It's going to be okay. It's not a big deal. We'll get through it. I love you. I will see you this weekend. I think this was on a Thursday. And then, of course, he comes to Calhoun that following Friday. After he told me, we're talking. I'm crying. He's crying. I'm mad. We're arguing. No, I can't even say we were arguing. I blatantly disrespected this man in front of his face. I blatantly disrespected this man in front of his face. And I still expected him to come back. Actually, not only did he come back, he took me to Vegas the following month. He took me to Vegas the following month. And I still, that man had no, he is, – I know people hate when I say it, but I'm not good enough for him. Like, he deserves so much better than me. He really deserves so much better than me. And when the best man I ever had no longer wanted me, I knew from that point on that the way that I treated people in my relationships, one, that shit's gonna come back on me, and then two, um, like, it's just not right. It's not fair. Like, that heartbreak is not something that I ever want to feel, but that heartbreak is heartbreak that other dudes have expressed to me. Like, driven to my house at 3 o'clock in the morning crying on my porch, or on the phone with me all night long for hours on end. Hours on end. Crying. And still, like, I'm okay. That's a you problem. That's not a me problem. But then until it was me, I was like, well, fuck. This is how I made them feel. And then I had to sit back and think, every person that I knew that I hurt without a shadow of a doubt, I couldn't go to them. Some of them, I couldn't go to them and say I'm sorry, because they were gone. They were dead. And then I thought about I have not dated a lot of people. Believe it or not, my body count is below 10. Okay? Well, not 10, 20. My body count's below 20. Um but all of my exes, my serious relationships, all of them are gone but one. Swear to God. Two, I take that back, two serious relationships that I would say there was maybe five. I was like legit serious. Like, I was faithful and everything. And actually, up until my relationship with Kiera, I had never been faithful because they always cheated on me. So when they cheated, so did I. So literally up until 2020, I'd never been faithful in a relationship ever, and never planned to. Of course, until now. But I tell you that to tell you to go back to this. Okay, so when in talking to you all of this time, literally almost every day, almost all day long, conversations you've had with the kids, you mingling with the family, all of that other shit. I kept trying to figure out, why do I love this man so much? Why is this man so perfect for me? And what is wrong with him? Like, I am trying to find what is wrong with you. Like, I am legit trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with you. And like, I am so stressed out. I'm stressed, and actually that was the stress I was feeling over the past couple of days. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck I could not figure out what was wrong with you. And it was my masculine energy that I think like a man, but I act like a lady sometimes. I, I, the dudes go into bitch mode, and I am just like, okay, whatever. But then I'm the cold hearted one. Everything that I went through prior to meeting you was my karma. And then I told you, 4th of July of last year, I got the blood clot. And in that time, okay, so when I got the blood clot in my lung, they went into through my groin, went through a main artery to dissolve the blood clot in my lungs. They left a stent in there, and that stent has to stay for 12 hours. So that means you have to lay flat. You have to lay completely still, no bending, nothing, for 12 hours. Or that piece could, move, it'll shift, whatever, and it can cause serious injury. So I'm laying here 12 hours. In that 12 hours, all I did was pray and throw up. And I had nothing to throw up. Nothing. My stomach was completely empty. So it was just pure stomach acid. So whenever I would throw up, I would have the nurse bring me room temperature water and I would drink it really fast. So the next time I threw up, something was coming up and it wasn't hurting so bad. Um, so anyway, um, God, I lost my train of thought. Shit. I get sidetracked so easy. Anyway, okay, so I was trying to figure out what was wrong with you, but I was actually deflecting my own actions, like shit that I have done. I'm looking for those telltale signs that you have done those things because you are a man, but then also I have to, you're not me. So, and then you're also not any other man that I've ever dated, talked to, interacted with, whatever. Like, completely different. And I can legit say that you are everything I didn't know I needed. And I don't like to admit weakness. I don't. I'm a Leo. We don't get weak. I don't like to admit weakness, but um, you you are everything that I need. You are. You are.
You are too.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to maneuver in order to get what you want, or what you desire. Maneuver different, so it
Why do
hit
you,
different.
but it's like maneuvering, but swallowing your pride at the same time. I'm a fucking Leo. We are all about pride.
Well, well, that sign doesn't have nothing to do with it when it comes instead of a you issue. Now it's a God issue.
Right.
So now when you, words you used earlier, now when you contradicting him, hmm,
I mean, I don't feel like I'm contradicting him. I just,
going a little bit against the grain,
hmm, basically.
but
But it's kind of like now I'm kind of to the point that I feel like my back is against the wall. It's like, get your shit together or lose it all. Like my favorite movie, I think it's Shawshank Redemption. Get busy living or get busy dying. That's what I feel like.
yeah,
Like I need to accept this, all of this, for what it is and make the best of it, or stop treatment altogether and shrivel away. And
I don't know
although
about you, woman.
it sounds like a wonderful option because I love to sleep. I love to sleep. I love to sleep. And the weight loss is crazy, but our kids, my mother, Um, the fact that my biggest fear is feeling like that I'm suffocating, and that's exactly what you do. Like you just lose all lung capacity.
Yeah, I've been in that. I've been in that boat, but I haven't had a virus. But I've been in that boat. But now I got a significant other that's with me now. They're brighter days, better days to come. So you just
Mm.
can't think about your own self. A lot
Well,
of people would be hurt.
if it makes you feel any more promising, Darius and I were talking today about my next appointment because I retest every 3 months. Um, we talked about the next appointment, and he was like, "Well, I think we should all go with you." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "But he's gonna be down here, um, because he's gonna be down here, and he's going to the appointment with me." And Darius asked, why, whatever. And I was like, well, he wants to go. We're gonna go get him. Well, you'll be tested before then, but you're gonna go with me and talk to the doctor about what our options are and all that other stuff. So like, he got really excited about it because one of our favorite restaurants is in the same city, Texas Roadhouse. It's like right across the. It's not really right across the street, but it's down the street from the doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a dinner date with the kids. I think it's October 22nd, I think, but I'm not sure. But I know it's in October.
All right,
And to think it's August already, so.
I got you. But yeah, we've done a lot of work. I've seen a lot of progress in you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate
But yeah, Chad, you getting out of there sooner than later. It's going because you keep laying and sitting down there, and then all of that's gonna keep resurfacing and everything else. You gotta have a breath of fresh air, girl.
it. I know
I
that.
mean, and plus I want to be with you too. Um, and I need a breath of fresh air too with you. Cause I mean, just like I expounded before, these days and these nights in this house by yourself, they get lonely.
Mm-hmm. Facts,
But
facts.
I'm trying to do the right thing, and since the COVID and all this bullshit, cause used to be I could before all this COVID and all this bullshit come around, I used to could do a little bit of running,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's kind of restricted now. So I don't want to be dipping and diving, catching COVID, this, that, and the third, and two fourths and two fifths, catching something that's gonna put me down.
Damn monkeypox.
And then plus, And then plus before we met and before we did our introduction, I'd say, okay, now I got all this shit. Now I live by myself. Who gonna take care of me?
Oh.
You know what I mean? So basically, just me being in the house by my damn self. I mean, my mother and grandmother, they'll do, but to a certain point, and it be at that.
I think that I
I
think
mean,
your
I
mom
don't
is
want
probably
to. I
gonna
mean, I don't.
be relieved.
Hmm?
I think your mom is gonna be relieved to have you with me.
Because
Or the fact that like you're not gonna be living by yourself and um I'm gonna keep you in check.
because that's what she always used to. Because that when me and her broke up, that's what she. Because for the first, I want to say the first, damn, I want to say for the first 6 to 8 months,
Mm-hmm.
I was fine. Because at that point,
After the last breakup?
in
After the last breakup?
after I've been 3 years nine. Let me see, 3 years 9 months
Okay.
out of a relationship.
Okay. So you've been single 3 years and 9 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the first 6 months, previously before the 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
I had quit drinking and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with that, I said, I said, fuck. I said, I ain't got nobody to fucking answer to now. I said, fuck it. I said, fuck it. I went out there and grabbed my damn liquor back, went to the liquor store, because the liquor store moved from Pulaski. Now it's, okay, from me to the liquor store, it ain't nothing but maybe 5 minutes from here to there. I could walk there and walk back home in about 20 minutes. I went down there and got my first bottle of liquor and got me my two shooters. And I went and got me a case of that six pack of that Corona. Came back to the house and I said, I said, damn. I said, look at these walls. Look at these walls I got here. I said, hell. I said, I ain't got nobody to answer to, so I said, fuck it. I started getting turned the fuck back up. Started running.
Uh-huh.
I was going to Roanoke, going to North Carolina, staying down there for a little bit, coming back up here, I would stay down there, and then when I had to go to work the next day or whatever else, I was getting up. If I had to be at work at 11 at Arby's, I'd motherfucker be on the damn interstate by like 3:30, close to 4. And if it was a 2 or 3 hour trip, yes, man. Leave from North Carolina, since my boys wanted to come up and pick me up, shit. They'd get back up on the interstate, come back from Raleigh or Charlotte, and come and pick me back up. I'd go back down there and stay, and first one thing and another, man. And then I said, fuck, what am I doing? So, yeah, I mean, I like drinking, but I don't like drinking to get fucked up because that shit wears on your body.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah.
And I don't need you ruining that body.
Huh?
I said, and I don't need you ruining that body.
No. And then plus after that, plus I was out there motherfucking doing the pills and all that shit. Shit, I drinking that beer, taking them pills, smoking that damn weed, and motherfucking doing that damn hard all at the same time. Shit.
Mm.
Wake up in the morning, start that shit. Wake up in the morning, I had that hard laying beside the bed, and that weed and that liquor, and then I had that beer up in the refrigerator. Shit. I get up in the morning, wake and bake, and do the whole 9 yards. Shit, get up that morning, take me my first six double shots of whatever I had left with the liquor that I had over from the previous night before.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, give me about four and four. Or that non-cut coke. Get that first that blunt of that nugs.
Mm-hmm.
That blunt of that nugs. Smoke that motherfucker while I'm doing all that shit over on that table over yonder. Shit. Say about by 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm walking through the house, 2 shades in the wind. They were taking shots of that liquor and wait about 9 o'clock because I done ran out of liquor and go over to the liquor store at 9 o'clock and get the rest of my liquor that I'm going to have for the rest of the day. Shit. Hell no, I ain't, no. But, yeah. I'll be, glad when you get home.